Hello and welcome back to creating dungeon parts. So last time we created our pillars. Now I'm just noticing here, if we were to look at this square here, which is 10 by 10 meters, these pillars look rather gigantic. So I am going to reduce the scale of these just a wee bit. So I'm going to press N to get our dimensions here, and yeah, so I'm just going to select all three of these. Press S on my keyboard and just bring them in about 8 meters tall, so along the Z. Oop, overshooting it. Yeah, so about 8 meters there. Really happy with that. And as you can see, they're kind of floating off the ground there, which is not great. G, Z, -2. Okay. Overshot it there, so G, Z, 1, and let's take a look how that looks. I'm going to the front view here, and yeah, they're about there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So they're on the ground, nice and ready to go. So what we're going to do next, we're going to create our actual walls that go in between these guys. And I want the walls to be about 10 meters wide, and let's say about 8 meters high, maybe a bit less. We can always adjust things as we go along. So I want to hide a few things. I want to hide this pillar for now. So I'm going to press H and hide our crate and barrel. So I'm going to select those and press H. And as you can see over here, we can just, click the I to bring them back. And I'm just going to position this pillar using these over here. I'm going to put that to 0 there, so it's dead center. I'm going to put this guy to exactly -10. So they sit nicely there, just to give me kind of a visual of my pillars. And it doesn't matter if I'm using different kinds. Then I'm going to Shift A to bring a mesh. I want a plane. Now I know the size of this is going to be 8. And here I can already do a rotation. Bring it on the Y to 90. There we go. And I do want to move this into position. So I'm going to press GZ4. So it's because I know that it's 8 by 8, so half of 8 is 4. And then GY -4. There we go. So it's like nice in the corner there. Only issue is that it's not reaching the full width that I want. So we're just going to make adjustments here along the y-axis to about 10 there. And I'm going to put this to -5. So for now, I'm going to hide this pillar. I'm going to scoot this one off to the side a little bit because I want to access the other side of this. So GY, just scoot along with my mouse. So now I can focus entirely on this. And I'm going to put this into, viewport shading so I don't see the colors anymore. I can just focus on the actual shape of it. Going into edit mode, I'm going to press Ctrl R. And here, so you may start with 1. I'm going to use my scroll wheel and just create some extra loops. So we want 4 pieces. And last button, so they go in the center. And I'm going to select faces. Nudge this a little bit here. Press E just to pull them out a little bit to create kind of a lip. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And to add a little bit more detail, Ctrl R, and I'm going to make this cover bash. I'm going to use front view here, just so I can kind of eyeball it to match the pillar on this side here. Doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same, it's fine. So do the same down here. Again, I can move the mouse to kind of eyeball it there. Really happy with that. Now I can press free, then select These two faces, hit E to extrude a little bit. And there we go. So there we go, we just got the basics, well, base of it there. Now, I don't want these extra faces over here, so I'm already going to try and get rid of these. I'm just going to hold Shift and select this, go to the other side. Do the same here. And hit delete. And I want to get rid of the faces. There we go, nice and clean. Now, yeah, that looks nice and clean. Now we want to create some bricks. Now you could go ahead and create individual bricks, but that just adds unnecessary faces and mesh that you don't need. So what I'm going to do, go into the front view here and get my knife tool. This one over here. You can press K on your keyboard. It's always good to know the shortcuts. So just very roughly. Now because I'd like a little bit of deformation, I'll press enter there. And just keep cutting away. You could also left mouse button and then just carry on like this. It's entirely up to you. Ooh. Sometimes it may stick like that. I switch my view here. Open a brick. There. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. The thing is, because this is going to be quite random, we want things to look a bit broken, a bit worn. You don't have to have straight lines. So again, being super quick and rough. There we go. And press enter to seal the deal, and there we go. We've got our faces. Now I want to extrude these out, well, extrude them inwards a little bit and then out to create a kind of brick effect. So I'm gonna select the faces. And next I'm gonna press I on my keyboard, and if I scroll in a bit, you can see it's doing it all uniformed, which I do not want. If I press I again, it does them individually, which is exactly what we want. We'll just bring it in just a little bit. And over here, we've got depth, and I can do this as 0.2. And turn around. Oop, wrong direction. Minus 0.2. Have a look around. Now, it doesn't matter if it's going backwards or forwards because it is going to be the same on the other side, so that doesn't matter. And maybe a bit too much. I'm going to try 0.1. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yes, I am happy with this. Now, because I want this to be looking random a little bit, we're going to add a little bit of a randomize, just a very subtle one, but we want to increase the area selection. To do this, Control plus, you can see we increase the area. Going over to Mesh, Transform, Randomize. And here I can just, increase the randomization. We get some really interesting shapes. But again, I want to make this just a little bit skew. Well, I'm having too much fun with this. About 0.05. Yeah, that looks alright. Nice and random, bit skew with. Yes, the only issue is that we got this bit happening over here. So we can fix that. Go to the front here. Wireframe. Get my vertice. And simply going to press G, Y, and just pop it there. I could also snap it to the grid. So snap and just make sure snap to grid. So I can press G and you can see it's snapping beautifully, which is exactly what I want. So I can just fix this up here. Yeah, all those pieces are fine. Do the same for the other side. Let's press G, snapping it to there. This piece, no, you're going to snap to there. G, snap to there. We'll turn snapping off. Have a quick little look and check. Everything looks good. Really happy. Now we want to add a little bit, just like with our pillars, we want to add a little bit of battle damage. So we're going to add some bevels and some nicks into this. With the vertices selected, I'm just going to grab some random ones. Holding shift, I'm going to grab some random vertices. Again, trying to be a bit random with this. Don't select the middle ones here. You want to select these ones here. Yeah, it looks dotted around. Control Shift B and then scale inwards. Oops, scale out a little bit. And there you go. There you go, quite happy with that. Now you can see here that we've got some extra. I don't want this to be sticking out. So I'm making sure that my auto merge is turned on. I'm just going to press this. GG. Move it down. So then it is merged. If I press G again. There you go. And just very quickly I'm going to do the same with each of these. Have I done that one? There we go. It's got some little nicks there. So let's just add a couple of cuts into this. So again, using my trusty knife tool, I'm going to do it on this one. I'm going to cut. Yeah, about down there. Press enter. Okay, move tool. And this time we're going to go for edges. Control B. And we want that extra edge in the middle. So using my scroll wheel. So you see, I can create more or less, but I just want one more. And yeah, there's quite a nick in it. Pressing 1 to go to my vertices and GG, bring that in. I'm going to press a little GG and move this in a little bit there. And I can press GZ just to bring it down a bit there. Quite happy with that. Again, using my knife tool, I'm just going to make another nick down here. Up to you how many you want, how many you feel is correct. Oop, don't want that. Bevel, bring it in. I don't use my scroll wheel this time. 1, GG, and GG just to bring it in. And I might actually GZ, just move this one up a bit. Now the thing is, you can make adjustments as you go along. You can add more nicks and dents in this, but I'm quite happy with that right now. Now the next part we need to do is mirror it over because, you know, we just want to create the other side. Unless you know that you don't need the other side, it can save you a lot of polygons, but I know that I want to create like two-sided walls, etc., just so it's easier to build my level. So with my wall, I'm going to go over to Object Mode, go to Modifiers, and we're going to add in, where is it? Mirror Modifier. Let's get this in to give me more workspace. one of X and Y. Now, it's not mirroring along Y, and the reason is because we've got all these deformations happening, and I need to reset them. So I'm going to press Control A, and we're going to apply all transformations to this data. So it's going to zoom out. So if you look on the transformations there, boom, and oops, it's put Y over there, of course. I want it along X here. Beautiful. And we don't want them merged just yet. Oh, I know why I was doing this. I need to go into... There we go. Now, one thing I'm going to do is bring one of my pillars back and kind of use it as a gauge to know how much I want to... I could bring it like that, but you can see it goes too much, so bring in just a bit. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now, I want these edges to be connected. I'm going to use a bit of clipping here, and we are going to merge. So I'm going to get my line tool, GX, bring them in, and they're snapping there. Same for the bottom, GX. There we go. So those lines are nicely together now. Now there is one issue, is that we have these edges here which are unnecessary because, you know, we're straight, there's no change. So we don't need this. Now I can press this. Now if I press delete edge, it gets rid of the whole thing. But what we can do is delete and dissolve the edge so it gets rid of it. Just a light bit of cleanup would be handy, because you don't want edges that are unnecessary. These ones that change here, they are necessary because they're applying a change. Now, one little thing I'm noticing as well, if we go here, we see that the tops here are clipping a little bit there. It's from the top here, actually. So, GZ, let's bring it down just a touch. There you go, so we've got a bit of a lip there. Basically, if you have faces on top of each other, they're fighting for the Z index, especially if you get flickering. So just by moving it a little bit, we're saying that this top one is, you know, top dog, top face, and this one's underneath. And I am really happy with that. That looks really good. It's always good to stop and admire your work. So what we're going to do next is we're going to apply our texture, and then we're going to set this up so that we can duplicate and attach to the pillars. All that loveliness. But one thing I am going to do first, I'm going to hide these pillars for a second. I am going to apply my mirror because we want it to remain. Looks good. And we're going to attach the material. So coming into material here, new, and we're going to attach our dark rock. Now we can't see any changes because I need to go into the shading viewport. There we go. So we can apply texture, but I want the bricks on the inside to be the lighter shade of grey. Now to make sure I'm selecting the both sides, I'm going to wireframe mode. Go to edit mode so I can select all the faces I want. Oop, didn't select, so you didn't select those ones there, so I'm just going to try that again. Go to front view, and you can go a little bit over the edge there, and you can see it doesn't select this face unless I'm near the little dots there to say I'm selecting that. So there you go, got both sides selected. Go to shading. I'm going to press our little plus here so we can add another material slot and select our light rock, assign, and there we go. So we bring our pillars back. Nope, so I'm going to click on these. Yeah, we'll bring all of them back. I'm going to move this one. Yep, so I'm not in editing mode. Bring this one back to 0. Now we want to make duplicates of our pillars. But first we're going to make duplicates of the wall first. So Shift D X 10 and then Shift D X 10, Shift D X 10. So I've created 3 walls there. I'm going to grab this pillar. I'm going to grab this one first. Shift D X 10. This one, Shift D X 20. And then I'm going to move it to 0 there. This one, Shift D X 30. And I'm going to change it from -10 on the Y to 0. So those sit all nice and pretty there. And I'm just going to hold Shift. So I'm selecting the wall first, then holding Shift to select the pillar last because I want this point here to be the base, so that when we're making more walls, the pillar where it is point 0. So hitting Control J, that's connected, and we can see it's going to put pillar point 0 there. I'll do the same for these. Selecting the pillar last, Control J, click the wall, hold Shift, click on the pillar, Control J, and just going to name that wall 01, wall 02, wall 03. So we've got our lovely walls here, which we can put into a collection just to keep things much more organized. So selecting all those, and we can click on this one to create a new collection. You may have guessed it, walls. Helps if I can spell it. Just move these guys into the collection here so I can hide the collection. And here I'm going to create a collection for the pillars, select those. Put those there. And I'm going to create another collection called Spare. Collection called Spare, and we're going to move in our spare wall. So I'm just going to call this just wall, because that's our main one. So that's in there, and I can hide the spares for now. And now we can bring back barrel and crate. Will they come back? There we go. So now the beautiful thing is the way we set this up. Move that to center there. So the wonderful thing with this setup is if I want to create duplicates of this wall, I can press Shift D, Y, 10, and create duplicates, Shift D, Y, 10, and I can also, like here, Shift D, Y, -10, and then maybe R, X, Y, 90. As you can see, I'm building some walls here, and sometimes you may need, like here, I may need to select one of these pillars as spare, just connect them all up. So yes, by using these pieces we can easily build a nice dungeon. So there you go. Next time we're going to build a nice archway for doors, and then after that we're going to build our floor, so that we can use all these pieces to create our own unique dungeon. Until next time, see you later.